Could more Danish royals lose their titles? Crown Princess Mary says her children's positions, including second-in-line Prince Christian, will be looked at when the time comes as she defends mother-in-law Queen Margrethe's difficult decision. Crown Princess Mary of Denmark has defended her mother-in-law Queen Margrethe's decision to strip 4 of her grandchildren of their royal titles, and suggested her own children's positions might not be secure. Australian-born Princess Mary, 50, is the wife of Crown Prince Frederik of Denmark, who is Queen Margrethe II's eldest son and heir. Their eldest son, Prince Christian, 16, is second in line to the throne behind his father Frederik. It was announced on Wednesday that the 4 children of the Queen's youngest son, Prince Joachim, would be stripped of their royal titles and would no longer be known as His or Her Royal Highness. As of January 1, Prince Nikolai, 23, Prince Felix, 20, Prince Henrik, 13, and Princess Athena, 10, will become counts and countesses, and will be known as their excellencies. Frederik and Mary's 4 children, Prince Christian, 16, Princess Isabella, 15, and twins Princess Josephine and Prince Vincent, 11, remain unaffected as they are direct descendants of the future king. However, speaking in Copenhagen today, Princess Mary suggested that might not always be the case. "We will also look at our children's titles when the time comes," she said in an interview with Ekstrabladet in Copenhagen today. "Today we cannot see what the royal house will look like when it is Christian's time, or when Christian's time begins to approach." She also defended her mother-in-law's decision, saying, "Change can be extremely difficult and can really hurt. I think most people have tried it. But this does not mean that the decision is not the right one." She added, "Change really hurts, but as I said, it does not mean that the decision is not the right one. And I can understand that it is a very difficult decision to have to make, and also a very difficult decision to receive." It has been a whirlwind 48 hours for the Danish royal family, following the announcement on Wednesday that Joachim's children would be stripped of their titles. Queen Margrethe, 82, who attended the Queen's funeral with Crown Prince Frederik, said she hoped the move would allow her grandchildren to shape their own lives without being limited by the special considerations and duties that come with a formal affiliation with the Danish royal family. The move has created an icy atmosphere within the royal family, according to one local media report, and has driven a wedge between a seemingly united family. There has never been a public conflict between the Queen and Prince Joachim, Danish royal reporter Kenneth Madsen told Female. Indeed, they put on a united front just weeks ago when they celebrated Queen Margrethe's Golden Jubilee. Margrethe defended her decision in an interview that night, saying, "It is a consideration I have had for quite a long time and I think it will be good for them in their future. That is the reason." However, Joachim broke his silence on Thursday morning and claimed he had only been told the news 5 days before it was made public. "We are all very sad. It's never fun to see your children being harmed. They are been put in a situation they do not understand," he said in an interview with Danish news outlet Ekstrabladet. "I was given 5 days' notice to tell them. In May, I was presented with a plan which, by and large, was that when the children each turned 25, it would happen. Now I had only 5 days to tell them. Athena turns 11 in January," he clarified. Prince Joachim, who is 6th in line to the throne behind his brother and his children, was speaking outside the Danish embassy in Paris, where he lives with his second wife Maria and their children Henrik and Athena. Nikolai and Felix, who are both models, live in Copenhagen. His ex-wife, Countess Alexandra, the mother of his 2 eldest children, added in a statement to Danish magazine Sog Hor, "This comes like a bolt from the blue. The children feel ostracized. They cannot understand why their identity is being taken away from them." Her spokesperson Helvan Wildenrat Lovgren told another news organization that Joachim learned of his children's fate via an aide. Queen Margrethe spoke neither to her sons nor her grandchildren, it is claimed. The children have received the message that they are losing their titles, delivered by their father, just as Countess Alexandra was told by Prince Joachim, the spokesperson added. In response, the royal household released another statement, saying, "As the Queen stated yesterday, The decision has been a long time coming. We understand that there are many emotions at stake at the moment, but we hope that the Queen's wish to future-proof the royal household will be respected. Prince Nikolai, a model, also spoke out yesterday, telling Extrabladet, "My whole family and I are of course very sad. We are, as my parents have also stated, in shock at this decision and at how quickly it has actually gone. I am very confused as to why it has to happen like this," he told reporters from outside the Copenhagen apartment where he lives with his girlfriend. Countess Alexandra, Prince Joachim's ex-wife and mother to Prince Nikolai and Prince Felix, is also very sad and shocked about the decision. She can't believe why and why now, because there's no good reason, Hel von Wildenrat Lofgren, press secretary to Countess Alexandra told CNN. They would lose their titles anyway when they get married one day. Her sons are young men, so maybe they might get married in the near future, so why shouldn't it wait until the day so that the titles would disappear on a happy day? Under the agreement, Nikolai, Felix, Henrik, and Athena will be known as either His Excellency Count of Monpezat or Her Excellency Countess of Monpezat from January 1, 2023. However, they will maintain their positions in the order of succession. They are currently 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th, but would move down if any of Crown Prince Frederick's children were to have children. The bombshell announcement was made in a statement released yesterday by the Danish royal household. It read, "In April 2008, Her Majesty the Queen conferred the titles of Count, Countess and Comtesse of Monpezat on her sons, their spouses and their descendants." In May 2016, it was also announced that His Royal Highness Prince Christian, as the only one of the Queen's grandchildren, is expected to receive an annuity from the state as an adult. As a natural extension of this, Her Majesty has decided that with effect from January 1, 2023, the descendants of His Royal Highness Prince Joachim can only use their titles as Count and Countess of Monpezat, as their previous titles as Prince and Princess of Denmark will lapse. Prince Joachim's descendants will henceforth have to be addressed as Excellencies. The Queen's decision is in line with similar adaptations that other royal houses have implemented in different ways in recent years. With her decision, Her Majesty the Queen wants to create the framework for the 4 grandchildren to be able to shape their own lives to a much greater extent without being limited by the special considerations and duties that a formal affiliation with the Royal House of Denmark as an institution involves. All 4 grandchildren maintain their places in the order of succession, concluded the statement. Margrethe, who is the world's longest-serving queen and celebrates her golden jubilee this year, is affectionately known as Aunt Daisy by European royals due to her close personal ties with many reigning monarchs. She is a first cousin of Sweden's King Carl XVI Gustaf and a second cousin of Norway's King Harald V. She enjoyed a close relationship with the Queen, a distant cousin, and the Duke of Edinburgh, and shared deeply personal tributes following their deaths. She was joined by her son Crown Prince Frederick at the Queen's funeral earlier this month. The Queen seemingly enjoys a close relationship with both sons and all 8 of her grandchildren, and makes regular appearances with both families. However, there is now said to be an ice-cold air between the Queen and her grandchildren. There is ice-cold air between Queen Margrethe and her grandchildren after she decided that they will lose their titles as Prince and Princess from the new year, leading Danish publication Ekstrabladet reported. The news, which has crushed both the 4 children and their parents, was not delivered by the Queen herself. They have not been called to a Malenborg for a cold coke and an explanation as to why they must henceforth be addressed as counts and countesses. Not even that far. Queen Margrethe has a well-cushioned allowance, with the Danish civil list granting her £800,813 a month, or £9.6 million for the year to run the royal household, including staff, properties and administration, according to Business Insider. Meanwhile, Celebrity Net Worth lists her net worth at around £37 million. Around £183,750 per month is reportedly given to the Queen's children. Crown Prince Frederick receives the largest amount of this money, of which 10% is given to his wife, Princess Mary. Many of the Danish royal family's properties are owned by the state, and run by the Agency for Palaces and Cultural Properties. This includes the main residence of Amalienborg, their spring home of Fredensborg Palace, their summer house of Grassen Palace and the hunting lodge Eremiteslottet. The Danish queen's personal properties include Marselisborg Castle, Château de Caux in France, and the Royal Hunting Lodge in Jutland at Trend. Queen Margrethe has a well-cushioned allowance, with the Danish civil list granting her £800,813 a month, or £9.6 million for the year to run the royal household, including staff, properties and administration, according to Business Insider. Meanwhile, Celebrity Net Worth lists her net worth at around £37 million. Around £183,750 per month is reportedly given to the Queen's children. Crown Prince Frederik receives the largest amount of this money, of which 10% is given to his wife, Princess Mary. Many of the Danish royal family's properties are owned by the state, and run by the Agency for Palaces and Cultural Properties. This includes the main residence of Amalienborg, their spring home of Fredensborg Palace, their summer house of Grassen Palace and the hunting lodge Eremiteslottet. The Danish queen's personal properties include Marselisborg Castle, Château de Caix in France, and the Royal Hunting Lodge in Jutland at Trent.